I think Proud has had a breakout performance. He's been this vaunted hit scan player, next up on the block. Young player, going up against one of the veterans of the sport in Lip. I mean, this guy's talked about as one of the greatest of all time, and you'd be kind of crazy not to put him in that conversation, but if you give it the eye test, this tournament, I think Proud's been the better hit scan player, and that's a remarkable achievement over someone like Lip.
I mean, for my money, right? I mean, Proud and Quartz have been the two best hit scan players here. And look, I mean, outside of maybe like 1 or 2 games from Proud really early on, it has not really been that close. So for me, Proud, if you continue to see that play out of him for T1, this could be a series they could certainly take. I will also say for T1, their bans and their different strategies that they've used throughout the tournament have been very effective. I mean, you think back to kind of like some of the Sigma Symmetra comps they ran against TM. They were very competitive there. Yeah, a lot of different changes here. CR, they will get rid of Ashe early on here in the series, and then T1, it'll be a Lucio ban.
It's an interesting choice here to take away the Ashe, and I think I'm really interested to see the strategic direction of this series, because these are two teams that have been struggling against these European sim looks all tournament long. Finally, they get to sink their teeth into a matchup that's a little bit more comfortable for them. Fans here in the venue joining us in Stockholm, and of course the fans around the world watching. Few would have predicted that maybe either of these teams will be going out so soon, but of course we've come to that point in the tournament. We're only going to be saying goodbye from here on out.
And I don't even think, some of the arguments online will probably be like, oh, well, it's like Sim comps, whatever. Sim was stronger back at the midseason championship in Riyadh.
It should be weaker.
It should be weaker, right? The teleporter obviously has been nerfed since then. I know some adjustments to kind of bring her back up, but still, it feels like Sim was stronger at that moment, not as strong now. It's just the rush comes from the EMEA teams. Just kind of reign supreme, especially with a lot of off-tanks in the meta. Interesting, though, that Donghak will be in the lineup here to kick things off for T1.
I mean, it is Ilios, right? And Crazy Raccoon made the Winston look insane on this map previously.
Yeah.
And so I think for T1, these are two teams that are relatively comfortable in this mirror. However, I think when you take this Symmetra away, well, the hit scans are going to really get going in this opening map. Lip has to start strong. And I wonder, will CR go with this Tracer Sombra style that they've liked in the past?
True. Yeah, and I mean, with this lower bracket, I expect to see gameplay not similar to the rest of the tournament, right? With these 4 teams down there, Crazy Raccoon, Falcons, Weibo, and T1, all of them want to play some variation of dive and aggression. You may end up just seeing it there to get to a finals. This is Jasmine, the tank on the bench right now for T1. Has played a lot, though, throughout the tournament. It'll be interesting to see if they bring him in later on.
I think both Max and Jasmine, look at them, top 2 in the damage per minute. That's incredible. And honestly,
of course,
I think at some point in this series, they're likely both to come in, right, to see some of this off-tank play.
One of the more interesting things there is, like, you do not see Lip or Merit on that sheet right there.
Those are players that have lifted trophy after trophy.
Yeah.
That have earned real veterancy here.
Quartz is in that mix. Proud is in that mix. Just some fantastic Shy as well. Hit scan play by some of the other players in this tournament, as I think, for my money, Proud could definitely win this series for T1, cause another massive upset.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of pressure on especially the flex DPS with Tracer taking some nerfs, forced into all these uncomfortable picks. I actually think this is a fantastic tournament for Heesang. As good as he is on the Tracer, he is a player who I think is more happy than most to go deep into the hero pool. If you make this a question of flexibility, Heesang has all the answers. And as we go to Ilios, this may not be the map to showcase it. This might still be the haven for Tracer. Yeah. I mean, if we're talking Winston Tracer, this is just one of those iconic matchups here in Overwatch Esports. 2 of the best teams in the world at dive, going head-to-head, familiar opponents, friends even, but now on opposite sides of the stage, only one can survive.
And sure, you may be able to get to tomorrow playing that dive style, but you are going to have to go through 2 rush teams to win this World Finals. For any of the teams that make it out of this lower bracket, feels like eventually you're going to have to deal with that problem. It may not be though today.
But you can't think about that yet, Matt. We've got a critical match to play. 2 more to survive into Championship Sunday for these squads. Honestly, Crazy Raccoon should be the heavy favorites. Cheers of fighting from the fans here in the venue in Stockholm. Both teams considering what do they want to play. Will it be the Winston? Will it be the Wrecking Ball? This is Ruins after all.
So it looks like some old school honest Overwatch here is T1 looking like they will play Winston with Tracer and Freya, and it will be CR like you talked about. Lit piloting the Sombra, one of his most famous heroes, that and the hit scan. So we'll see how impactful he can be.
You might think there's no hit scan on this Crazy Raccoon lineup, but remember, Shu on this Ana. Disgusting place throughout the tournament. Great move. Sends Vigilante out of the flank, has the TP back. That leaves Zest on an island now. The cascade of abilities, T1 trying to stay alive. Counter push comes. Hold on, Vigilante finds Lip. And CR dropping the first player, still healthy. Playing around this break, skewed. An iconic player on the roll. Proud takes down Junbin, and T1 finds the first cap.
And this would be scary for CR, right? You played a game today, maybe you're a little bit down in the dumps, you get T1 coming in, playing pretty hot after last night, and if Proud can continue that strong performance, you're in a world of trouble.
Shu climbing up to a perch on the high ground. Be crucial for this fight. But T1 bunkering so efficiently. Oh, sleep attempted. Recall from Zest at the sound cue. He doesn't want to take that chance against a player like Shu, and that's understandable. Now he sneaks around once again, making Crazy Raccoon consider the backline. They want to keep pushing forward. Here comes Junbin with the jump. Dongak takes a step back here, playing his life well. And with the point in contention, T1 forced to make some action here. Forced to take this fight. He's with the pulse bomb, needs to get this connection. This is going to be critical when Junbin takes down Dongak. The distraction good enough.
Yeah, they're just not able to keep Donghack alive. I mean, constantly getting poked down by Shu and the rest of Crazy Raccoon, and then eventually Junbin healthy enough to get in there and make a play, and with Vigilante and Skewed both under pressure, not able to heal up that Winston's, the point does flip to CR.
This has been the calling card of CR, just the boa constrictors on this composition, poking you out from all angles, pulling you apart, and now sensing a chance to strike. The nano onto Junbin. Proud, trying to get back to his team. A beautiful bio nade from Shu catches 2, but it's not enough to secure the kills. Junbin doesn't find the chance to go deep. Choroy falls. And T1 resurgent into this fight with the Kitsune rush. Sleep on Zest, but they can't follow up the kill. The Winston is there to protect. And now, CR lose point.
And we've also talked about, Jake, where the Freya's really good against some of these Winston-based comps, and nobody really else for CR able to put any pressure onto Proud, so he just gets high in the sky. And no way they can contest him, and he's just pumping in tons of damage to everybody on Crazy Raccoon.
Lip still charging at an EMP. This is a brutally challenging comp to play Sombra against. Both the Brig and the Kiri, remarkably powerful tools. Dongak pulls the enemy to chase him into the spawn, playing around that primal if they don't take the bait. Instead, CR find the moment to strike, rush on the point. Stepping up, T1 playing slow, giving a bit of time, but still right back into this rally from Skewed. He's low, but Dongak's found Shu. Does cost Skewed his life. Trades are good. Dongak with the primal, though, keeps this one in contention. CR have found the flip, though. So the fight is really turning against T1. The fact that they give up this flip, Dongak likely to just take the fast reset, knows it can't be done.
Yeah, and as soon as you lose Skewed, who's got that rally going at that time, you also lose Proud, basically. Right after him, Junbin jumps right on top of the both of them. The Dongak Primal doesn't even give you an opportunity to extend the point where Crazy Raccoon already has it in that position, and now CR with a great opportunity here, Jake. EMP potentially could just kind of bait T1 on in.
Zest has to use a ton of blinks just to come across the choke. Lip and Easting waste no time peeling him out, but that should give Proud a little opportunity. Now it's Junbin pulling the attention. You just can't quite get past these choke points. CR providing an immaculate defense in the Ana. EMP wasted.
Just hit Donghack.
Is it enough? No, not for a kill. The repush could be brutal. Pulse bomb to save the day, not good enough. Skewed with the block. Now T1 forced to get back into this. The clock ticks on. No chance to regroup. You've got to get into this fight. Crowd is down. Bullet shot is out. No kills from it, and Junbin doing the most with the primal rage. T1 crumbling, and CR dominate on the ruins.
Started off pretty good for T1. And then after that, it is all Crazy Raccoon. So we'll see how T1 decides to bounce back. They get off to a pretty good start, right? But then Junbin, and then also Lip really got in the mix. Made it very difficult for Proud to stay alive.
Yeah, and they struggled, and it really was the team play that did the job for CR. I mean, across the board, an embarrassment of riches from this team. One of the best support lines to be assembled in the history of Overwatch Esports. Chorong and Shu, multiple-time title winners, respectively on different teams and now together. T1 struggling to break that chokehold, and once again, Lip on the Sombra, full comfort, playing around these hack packs. Proud put up some big damage last round. It wasn't enough. Can he find a difference maker kill in this opener? Is
this map, though, here on Well, a little bit better for survivability for the Freya? It feels like with some of these line of sights, I know maybe a little bit more open, a little bit easier for the Freya to get out of harm's way.
Yeah, Shu in particular, I think, is going to have a much tougher test. Dongak closing the gap, knows where Shu will be playing. Reads the play perfectly, but Shu steps away for now. Dongak dares not chase deep. Gives him parting shots. The cleanup is there. Sombra Tracer. Can anyone find Dongak? Yes, it's Lip. Hunts him down. CR take the point flip, and T1 starting to ask some questions about this style.
I mean, it doesn't feel like a style that they are able to beat Crazy Raccoon at. It feels like a play style that is right up CR's alley in T1. I mean, without, some of the other games that they've had really good counter strats to some of the things that teams have done. Just trying to take this almost kind of, dive matchup. It is not going to go well.
Let him know. Message received. Zeph, what is your reply? Now the walk up. Proud wants to take that high ground. He's saying defending it. The help of the Tracer should be able to move up. But Crazy Raccoon just setting the trap, daring you to step forward, daring you to test them on this point. He's saying battling on this Tracer flank. Doesn't want to let Zest through. Zest grabs the pack away from him though and has a fight to be had. Now, Pulse, no joy. Bash almost takes Scoot off the map. He took a risk there, but drops down low and is still fighting. But Shu, once again, the man in the ivory tower here in the back, and no one has been able to bridge the gap on him.
Yeah, I mean,
expert in this position.
He's going to get the nano here as Chorong is able to stay alive. And even when this fight kicks off, you're going to be able to nano Junbin, send him in, and he is just going to cause chaos for T1.
Here he comes. Nano is good. It's on to the Skewed Rally, who starts to get low, caught, pincered by the Tracer as well. With a kill in the support, it could be good enough. Primal popped. TP available for the Kiriko. Can she get out after that swim step? He's looking for more. Zest, meanwhile, though, is cleaning the back line, and the jumps are good. He's off the map. Junbin. A rare misstep from the main tank for Crazy Raccoon. And T1 wastes no time in seizing the flip.
So a few kills go in favor of T1, and even though the Primal is rolling for Junbin, not able to find anything. The nano expended there as well for Crazy Raccoon, but here you go. Now you have an opportunity. Kitsune Rush plus EMP, no big support ultimate on the side of T1. So it really is only one more fight for CR to get this flip. So still in a very good position.
Shu stands his ground, bullies the enemy Tracer away, the hack pack. No resources possessed in the backline. He's got to work with so little here. Lip stepping up, looking for a chance to find the EMP. Junbin's already found Vigilante. Here comes the EMP on a Dongak. He's down. No chance to Primal. Now, CR surging forward. They want to get on this cap. T1 gonna give the flip. Look for a last-second touch into the overtime regroup. CR would love to choke out this fight, get some dominant kills. They have the overtime touch for now. T1, the next comes from Skew, but will Zest die? He's caught alone in the back line. Lives for just a moment longer. And maybe it'll be enough. Dongak, he's back with the Primal. Pulse Bomb, no connection. Dongak still waiting. Now the TP out from the Kiriko. Could look for more. Shu is hiding. You can't find him. Here he comes in the sight. Dongak dives in. Primal on the cards here.
Oh, nice lead.
He should be up soon, though. And Shu does go down. Primal Rage advantage is enough. Both supports down. CR just fighting with the DPS. And Lip caught on the teleport. T1 retaking this control. CR, one last test to answer to have this Ilios in the bag.
Man, nicely by Shu. It is not enough, though, for CR to close out the map. T1 not going down easy as Dongak gets good value out of that Primal. The Pulse Bomb there from Heesang just hit onto the Winston bubble, so didn't feel to have to prop it at that time. Shu with the nano. Let's see who he decides for the target here.
The counter focus good. T1 aren't giving up anything for free. But CR taking this top control. Zest finds Heesang. Massive kill. And now trying to get down on a Proud. It's enough from Junbin. Very close to that Primal. The rally trying to give up this backline. It's not enough. Junbin slams them to the floor. Primal looking for the finish. T1 nowhere to be found. Have to dance away. You cannot stand tall against the Primal Rage. No TP left. Vigilante could be in trouble. No, manages to get back on the map. Now it's desperation for T1, looking to hold on. Junbin reads the play. Now, blood in the water, dives into the choke point. Whip shot missed. Scoot has to fall back. Crazy Raccoon just picking them apart one by one as they step up to the point. Zest keep this overtime going for quite some time, but Chorong finds Proud. Things dwindling for T1, a desperation Doomfist. Surely not like this. The rush as well, Chorong finds another. And T1 falling apart on Ilios. The rush as well, an embarrassment of ultimates. And CR open strong on their map pick. The #1 seed from Korea, proving pride of place here. T1 looking like the little brothers for now. What will they respond with on their map pick?
Yeah, they did a nice job of just kind of cycling on to the point there, touching it, kind of keeping OT rolling, but not able to find any kills there were T1. Donghack back on the Doomfist, just trying to make a play for the point. He ends up falling, and CR. Look, if you're going to take that type of duel with them in this, like, fast, aggressive dives type of play style, T1 is going to be in a lot of trouble. It feels like they got to try something else here to swing this game in their favor, and at least now it looks like Donghack getting up, so we might see Jasmine come in, which would mean a pretty big shift in terms of play style.
I think that's the huge shift is exactly what the doctor ordered for T1 in this series. We take a look at the stat card and look at Junbin, man. Huge performance on the Winston, really being enabled by this Tracer Sombra style, not to mention Shu, keeping the death to a minimum there. Crazy damage output from your Ana, by the way. That's on top of the nades, on top of the sleeps. I mean, you're really getting a lot of aggression out of an Ana in that comp. And these dives, man, Crazy Raccoon are so patient. They wait for the perfect moment to strike, but when they strike, it is brutal. Absolutely executing these T1 players on the walk-up.
Yeah, and I mean,
this is
nasty. I mean, this is pushing him back into the spawn. The bags are out there for Heesang.
He threw down the gauntlet right there, Matt. I mean, there's no.
Yeah, but they didn't really swing back.
There's no misinterpretation. I mean, for Zest, it's like he's telling you to get out. He's telling you to go home. And if you lose this match, that's exactly what's going to happen. Zest needs to reply strong in the next series.
It just does not feel like T1 really playing to their strengths there, at least to me. Because, like, their strength, I mean, obviously they're a good dive team, but against Crazy Raccoon, I mean, they would love to play that style every match, every map, and it's like you're just playing into it. And, you're probably not as good playing that type of style against them. So it feels like, that's exactly playing into what CR wants to see.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, though, this is Ilios, right? This is the way of the Winston. Crazy Raccoon got exactly what they wanted, tactically setting themselves up, advantage in the series. We got a lot of Overwatch left to play, though, Matt. And I think T1 have some interesting tricks up their sleeve. We've seen that from them all tournament long. They've been willing to bring out the Sigma, bring out the Symmetra, things that the other Korean squads here really haven't dabbled in. And I think it's that flexibility, it's that adaptability, and it's, especially Jasmine coming in that maybe unlocks some of those threatening potentials.
Yeah, but if they never go to it, what's the point, right? I mean, we saw them do it against Twisted Minds, but not against anyone else. So like we talked about, Jasmine will come in for Donghack. We just showed a little bit of a stat graphic before about how good Jasmine has been throughout this tournament, playing a lot of these off tanks. So we'll get a chance to see what T1 decides to do in terms of maps. Maybe some comp changes. It looks like here we're also going to get a sub. So Max is going to come in for Junbin.
Must be an off-tank map pick here.
Shambali?
Yeah, both teams are the same read. I mean, Shambali's been so popular, but for the most part, from my perspective, that's a feature of like Varel wanting to play these double flex support comps, and the European teams really wanted to play Symmetra. But what does T1 really want to play? I mean, they have been a chameleon this tournament. They've been adapting to each opponent one after the other. But I feel that beating CR demands more than adaptation. It demands a vision, a belief in that, a look that you have, a unique style that you can bring that CR can answer.
Yeah, so they go over to King's Row. They will ban Zarya off the rip, and Venture will go by CR. So with Zarya gone, you're looking at Jasmine on Diva here, Diva Ramatra potentially. Then CR gets rid of Venture, where we've seen Zest put up some crazy games on that hero.
Jasmine throwing down the gauntlet on Diva, which has been an absolutely dominant hero this tournament. I mean, maybe the best tank in the tournament, maybe defining, I think, what we might expect to see in our upper finals, maybe even the grands. Diva performers, big names have been made on this stage. TVNT and Ziad, breakout stars from Saudi Arabia. Now Jasmine and Max trying to stay alive. Remember, only one of these teams, of the 4 we're about to see, can survive in a championship Sunday. I mean, that's a tough spot to be. We've got to send a lot of great players home today.
Yeah, and I mean, look, you talked about, obviously, Ziad and TVNT. You think, for EMEA, right? Obviously, you have the OWCS in Stage 3, but you also have the Saudi E-League, where there's a lot of talented players coming out of that region, coming out of that league, but it also gets really high levels of competition, real games for those two teams against each other. They've kind of forged each other into, obviously, world-beating type teams where CR, T1, Falcons, and Weibo now trying to climb the mountain of the loser bracket to just get an opportunity tomorrow coming out of losers to maybe make some noise. But if you're T1 here, you're probably looking at playing some type of Diva comp. Do you even think about playing Sim? We've seen them play some Sim. I know Zest could actually pull it out. And with the Venture gone, maybe it's something you're like, hey, you know what? We didn't really plan on it, but this is a pretty decent opportunity to do so.
A lot of options here for T1. It's time for them to set the stage, right? And to really take control of this series. Coaches had an opportunity to prepare this. You knew you were going up against Crazy Raccoon on Ilios. That was predictable. Honestly, losing the map shouldn't be a shock to you, right? That is the stronghold for Crazy Raccoon. Very few teams can challenge them in that kind of a comfort zone. And even for T1, you don't have to win that map, right? You can give that one up and make the run back in the series, but it's got to start here. You got to plant your flag. You got to show your look. And Jasmine may be part of that success. Max has kind of been, he's been the second fiddle tank player, and now he's kind of called upon, I think, in this meta to lead and play more often than not.
Yeah, especially how often we're seeing these off-tanks heroes in the meta. We can take a look also, guys. Scarlet Flare bundle still available here at home. Make sure you contribute to the OWCS World Finals prize pool. That's how we were talking. All these skins look awesome. You get that trophy emote as well. For my money, the Freya skin, that's the one right there. I mean, that thing looks awesome.
Beautiful name cards, great art. Blizzard, they don't miss. They don't miss. The artists.
No, I mean, every skin, that kind of comes out. And it feels like even lately they've kind of hit a new gear. They've set a new kind of level for the skins they got coming in Overwatch 2. And obviously this bundle goes to support the prize pool. So if you love the action you're seeing here, support the players, make the prize pool as high as we can get it here for the World Finals.
Dude, look at this. This is the new level of tech. Look at the players have got a little fan for their hands while they're playing. I've seen a couple players with one of those. That's next level. I never had one of those.
I mean, did you need it?
Apparently.
I mean, maybe that was the difference all those World Cups ago.
That was probably it.
Yeah, we didn't get a Jake fan hand cam.
I need a hand fan.
Yeah, a hand cam. So we take a look at our incoming subs. So Max for CR, Jasmine for T1.
I mean, these guys are the top 2 damage per minute in the tournament, right?
Yeah.
These have been the heaviest hitters. Zarya's off the table, though, which has been, I think, a strong point for both of them. So the fact that T1 banned this, they're showing real confidence in Jasmine's flexibility, willing to go deeper into the hero pool, straying away from the really core rush style that we've heard Max is very comfortable on. And so I think maybe going this Diva direction is the way they can differentiate themselves.
Yeah, you go with the Diva here. Possibility, as I was talking about as well, you can end up playing some type of sim, as we've seen T1 play in the past. So some options here for them that can make it quite interesting here.
Yeah, the Venture ban does surprise me quite a bit, though. Because honestly, Heesang has used the Venture in the past to great effect. it's been central to CR winning a lot of these matches. And I mean, Zest has played it too, but it didn't strike me going into this match as like the hero that really T1 would want to play in particular.
So as we get into game, we'll see who we have starting on the defensive side of things first. That'll be obviously where you can tell a little bit more about what's going on. But CR with a chance to really take a dominant lead in this series, Shake. An opportunity here for them to go up 2-0. And hey, I was talking about it, right? We saw them play this the other day against TM. It was one of our games that we did in the studio. And this comp looked sick. We've been wondering why we haven't seen anybody play it. We were saying that we saw some of the players, I know from EMEA, and we were asking them about it. They're like, hey, there might be something there. We'll see if T1 can make it work here against Crazy Raccoon.
Crazy Raccoon fans, just a little bit louder. Could that be the difference here with the fighting cheers? Fans came out so far to support their teams in Stockholm. Such a journey left if they want to reclaim a chance, just a chance, to be our OWCS world champion here in Stockholm. That's what's at stake as Crazy Raccoon rolled out. And he's saying, comes to the Genji.
Yes, I mean the Genji. We've talked a little bit about it on some of these maps with that high ground. You're able to kind of get up there, make some wild plays. And Lip also over to the Ash here. So CR already getting control of the high ground, kind of forcing T1 to wrap around.
Jasmine steps up with the Sigma, wasting no time, getting aggressive. Trade's starting to come in though, and CR are gonna be happy to take down Proud. T1 have some difficult decisions to make, and so far it's not going well for them, being picked apart at the seams. CR flanking them from all sides, harassing down the last remaining defenders. Jasmine staying healthy, and T1 seeming to stabilize. Be a great sign for them if they can make a clutch hold here, but Zest naded, cleaned up by Heesang. The dash resets are good. Genji is low. Has to battle back into this. Sig also falls, and that'll be the end of this first point. CR cut them to pieces with ease.
Yeah, and just that ticking damage constantly from Lip connecting with those dynamites. A nice bio grenade there from Shu connects onto Zest. This helps finish off that sim as CR is trying to push through the second part of the map. Let's go to a listen in.
바꿨다 얘네 바꿨다. 나 바꿀게.
옥제 쏜다.
나 바꿀게. 기다려봐. 야나 여기다 이거. 야 얘네 우양구 하나거든 이거.
나눠 있어.
여기 먼저 할래 이거?
여기부터 할래. 여기부터 진짜요?
여기부터 하는 게 좋아 보이긴 해.
우리가
여기라고
여기라고
나눠 가자 그러면.
아.
내가 콜할게. 내가 콜 기본. 일단 라마 스킵부터 뺄게. 기다려. 야 라운드 봐.
터줄게 이거.
야 여기 기다려. 스킵 맞지 마. 여기 고고고고 여기.
가자 가.
기다려 여기. 야 여기 고.
왼쪽 우영.
심해 필이야. tip상 뒤에. 야 뒤에. 가자.
시험 잡고. 내려봐. 라마 치자. 라마 이거 1배 안 되나?
깨우지 마.
이거 내려봐.
켜야 돼. 나이스 혼자 나 지금.
라마 쳐봐.
야, 뒤에 들어왔다.
켜야 돼. 와 됐는데.
야 라마.
와, 강이다.
형 살아야 돼.
알아.
기다려. 라마다.
맞아.
깨우지 마.
뛰어.
The blade is sharp. Heesang finds two. The delayed kill onto Jasmine, and T1 now on the cusp of being absolutely destroyed through King's Row.
This looks like it could be a beatdown. I mean, CR.
It's getting scary. CR won this matchup time and time again. Zavril talked about on the desk, especially in these high-pressure moments. Jasmine, he's just not there in time. 5 minutes in the bank. CR, it just doesn't get better than that.
And I mean, you have Bob. You're going to be able to use this nano onto Max and cycle that into an annihilation. I mean, this is brutal stuff out of T1.
Yeah, T1 are gonna really struggle right now. We needed a beautiful team fight. Out of the backline, but Zest is down. Slammed by the Bob. The rush forced to be deployed, but it's purely defensive from Vigilante. And he can't even hold on to the checkpoint. As this sim wall expires, Max pops the annihilation. Shu there with the nano boost. This time it's on to Heesang. He finds Proud, cutting apart the backline. There's the second. Echo in the third. No one to escape to. Vigilante, no one's alive. You cannot TP. And CR taking that cart forward with the ultimate advantage coming into what could be the final fight of this Kings Row offense. T1 desperate. They need to do better than this.
I mean, they are just getting dumpstered back to the spawn door at the moment. Chorong's going to be able to use his Kitsune rush here over the point as Hiseng's getting close to get another blade. Jasmine with the Annihilation. They're just going to try and work this Ram down, and they're not able to keep him up.
Max on his back, Shu in the free fire zone, but 2 kills are massive. Lip finds another. Hold on, the Ram touching the point. Shu doing God's work here, has to keep this Ram up, try to put down what damage he can. That kill from Lip makes it possible, but now with Jasmine onto the point, he'll have to back off.
Yeah,
Shu and Lip just deadly, even in that difficult scenario.
Yeah, and it looks like Max got kind of like booped off of the payload there, or else that nade would have hit, and then maybe you're able to keep that Ramatra alive. Zest gets quite low here as Lip tries to take high ground. Dynamite gonna put some ticking damage down onto the supports.
Shu, 70% to that nano. Blade online for Hiseng. Does he want to pull it early? Yes, he does. Waste no time. No risk taken. Tidal Blast, though, it's stabilizing. Keeping this Asher alive. She turns it around. Hiseng bites up more than he can chew. And T1 staking their claim on King's Row.
So that is risky there from Hiseng. The Tidal Blast goes on to Proud, and he thinks he can just slice through it. You know, before that stun comes off, and he gets knocked to the ground and then finish off there by Proud. A change here away from the Genji, gonna go and play the Mei. So we've seen a little bit more Mei tick up in action today, specifically on King's Row.
Yeah, wants to play more for that rush style, isolate the payload. While no good block there just yet. Shu has the nano, though. This could be a big advantage. Look at these heal up, Lip. The heal's missed from Shu. Hold on, Proud gets that kill. Bob, though, still getting something. There's still more fight to be had. Rush deployed for the defense. T1 trying to hold down, but Max is at the spawn door, denying anyone from coming out, anyone from contesting this card. It's just Jasmine. He has to fight against the world, blocking everything, getting beautiful heals from this backline. Zest with a pulse, no connection. As Max kicks out, loses that ramp form, and oh no, it's Proud on the Widow. A healthy tank on the cart. Crazy Raccoon stalling at the final hurdle. T1 with a grasp into this map.
Another hold here from T1. So this starting to get a little bit interesting, Jake. 5 minutes here for Crazy Raccoon to finish off the map, and T1 taking more than 2 minutes off of that at the moment. So, you know, you had Max with the Annihilation, with the nano boost there, and you had an early first pick, and you're not able to get it done. Some fantastic healing from Skewed, specifically on the Jasmine. Ooh, Vortex almost catches Proud out.
The kunai as well, almost did enough, but Max is low, took a risk for that. Being punished now. Here comes the Wu angle, it's onto the Tracer Zest. The Tidal Blast into the back line. It's not enough. Lip just burst him down. Now it's CR's turn. Counter punching, stepping up to the plate. Chorong with the rush. Proud finds Lip, the hero. That's all he can get though. Chorong takes him out. He's saying they all deployed, zoning players off the cart, but Jasmine has Annihilation.
Jasmine alive.
He's holding on, desperately needs the heals, needs the resource, but the sleep from Shu takes him off his feet. And now finally CR should be closing out this cap, have the massive player advantage. Can Zest get a last second touch? No, he cannot. However, T1
a lot of time off the clock.
They stalled to just under a minute, which is a crucial threshold map, because now if you can just cap in overtime with T1, we will go to an OT round.
I mean, with the way things were going, I mean, T1, they capture, CR captures that second checkpoint, and they have like above 5 minutes on the clock. I mean, they are in a great spot to potentially finish that map with like, 2-3 minutes in the time bank, and T1 kind of holds them all the way down. Some swaps at the end for T1, but I really think it was some nice support play from Skewed and Vigilante to be able to keep Jasmine alive through a lot of these fights. Is Proud, you see here, the swap to Widow at the end. Fantastic headshot, taking out Lip.
And now I feel like this is a moment for Crazy Raccoon. I think they maybe got a little ahead of themselves coming into that King's Row third point.
Yeah, probably. Well, they were feeling themselves, right? I mean, they were dominating the game.
Exactly. And in the end, you get it done with a healthy time bank. I mean, you're feeling good. However, I think for CR, there's going to be a little bit of salt in terms of thinking about that Shambali Monastery, that they were so close to winning. They had every advantage with that fold, and they still let it slip through their fingers. And so they don't want to make that same mistake again against T1. You let this T1 team, these young players, start to heat up, start to get their hooks into this series, and things could get out of control very quickly. CR would love to put out a dominant defense here and really just show T1 the door.
Yeah, Wu Yang Kiri here for the backline of Crazy Raccoon, and it'll be Zest here piloting the Genji. So Genji for T1, just like how CR use that Genji on their offense.
Zest already through to the back line. Max trying to mark these flankers, but D.Va's going to start capping the point. Who's going to respond? Who's going to be the player to stall this out? T1 willing to play the waiting game here. The first pick almost going against them, and now they send Lucio Genji up to the high ground, targeting this back line. Jasmine wasn't able to grab that tick in time, and he's saying finds Vigilante, so hold on. Maybe an over-aggressive move from T1, getting punished. They find Shu, but will it be enough? They need more kills. They need to have another opening to keep this push going. And it seems that they won't get it. Chorong just barely staying alive.
So, I mean, Zest gets into position really fast, right? They get to that high ground right behind them. They're going to lose Skewed here late. Jasmine as well. But Zest not able to find something fast enough, right? CR already gets 2 picks before he finds that first kill. So, although you do get good positioning there for T1, doesn't result in anything.
I think T1 were impatient there. I think they could have just let D.Va threaten the cap, force responses out of CR. Once again, they're going to try and set up their team in this backline, threatening the vulnerable squishies from CR. He's saying he's fighting it this time. Max is here too. It's a risk, but it pays off. Chorong finds Skewed, and with D.Va out of suit, Lip surely has that one dead to right. And T1 this time stifled. I mean, Crazy Raccoon, read the play. Fool me once. I mean, this time they come back and just immediately punish those flankers.
And I mean, Lip there with Shu, you're not going to be able to finish that off if you're Jasmine, right? I mean, you're going to be able to keep Lip alive, whether it be the Suzu and then some healing, and eventually just going to kind of chunk down that D.Va. Sure, I mean, they're getting into position. You see Zest and Jasmine up on the high ground, but at what cost? They're already basically dead.
They're so low, and Max is punishing them, sending them away. They're struggling to regroup. Now Jasmine falls, and this could be a crumbling from T1 under immense pressure. This is the CR we know and love. Skewed, though, gets back into the action, but Shu takes 2 skulls.
I mean, you haven't even forced anything out, like, you know, major from CR, right? Everybody gonna get back. You're gonna have all 5 ultimates here to work with.
We've got Zest in the enemy spawn, I believe. Is he with the support here? He's being attacked. They're taking him out. They're going so deep for this. Lip finds that kill. Vigilante is here as well, but what can he do as Akira go all on his own?
Well, who can even TP to? There's nobody close.
Oh, this is getting so bad, Matt. Things are really falling apart. D.Va up on the high ground, trying to get us up a lift, but the heals are so good. CR, they know where their bread is buttered, keeping Clip alive. The Gaming Warlord steps up, and CR are coming into a final fight, I mean, having not deployed an ultimate yet in this round.
This is not the T1 we have seen against other teams. Obviously a level up in competition with Crazy Raccoon, but still, T1 very disjointed here on their offense. And they only might get 1 really good attempt here, Jake, with ultimates. The bad part is they haven't been able to force anything out of CR, so they're gonna have everything to work with too.
And CR has turned a comp that typically plays so defensively and just turned it on its head. Look at Heesang this time, harassing crowd in the spawn, forcing resources to this Sojourn. And the rest of CR are swarming forward at the same time. Here comes the aggressive beat, very early out of Skewed. Lip hiding, waiting out the initial burn. Blade is good enough to take down Shu. Chorong forced the ultimate out self to stay alive. Genji just wall climbing away, dodges the stun for now. Maybe that kill will be enough to get this cap. Vigilante finds Heesang. And so far it's been all T1 in the feed. Just Max holding on desperately to dear life. Getting just a little bit of heals from that Wu Yang, but will it be enough? Crowd with the OC. Denies the angle from the supports.
Max still alive though.
Somehow. How is that possible? Oh, the speed high! No way! No!
Oh, that one was...
Oh, that is the worst one that I've ever seen.
Oh, don't show us CR. What is going on the T1 side? I mean...
Show me the T1 players. We need to see.
That is...
If no one slammed their desk, they're not passionate enough. That's... Oh my God, that is so egregious, Matt.
I thought we'd see a fist through screen. I mean, that is like... That is one way to go out. Is that?
Oh my!
Hey, we were like, how is Max not dead? Maybe the issue was everybody was trying to kill Max and nobody was over by the point. That
cannot happen at this level.
That is the worst one I think I've seen.
That's the worst C9 I've ever seen in competitive Overwatch.
That's Youngjin-esque. If it's a throwback back to the Dorado, where he just kind of walks off in OT. I mean, that is one way to go up 2-0 as we take a look at the stats.
I mean, look, the way the map is going, frankly, CR are almost certainly going to win.
Don't try. Yeah, I mean,
right?
sure, but still.
But that's the copium to even say that, Matt, is out of control. T1, I mean, like, honestly, don't upgrade to business class on the plane, because if you sleep,
Nah.
I know what's going to be happening in the nightmares.
Yeah.
It's going to be this Kings Row C9 for a good few months.
You take a look at some of the highlights, and hey, look, we're kind of obviously, deserve a T1. I mean, that's a ridiculous play. They did put up a really good defense, though, towards the end of the map. Like, we're seeing this here, right? He's staying in their spawn with Nano with over 4 minutes on the clock, and they actually dwindle that down. It was about 5 minutes. They dwindle it down almost all the way to OT, and they do a great job below a minute. But
feels like a lifetime ago.
You can't.
That was 5 minutes ago, man.
This cannot happen on offense, though.
We need to see the C9. We need to see the highlight of that.
Was anyone close?
There was somebody standing next to the point net. He was like at the phone booth. Like he's an inch from the point.
Man.
That is
Just a bit unlucky.
That's one of the most consequential ones I've ever seen as well, because I mean, it feels like T1 are finally about to cap first. And we talked about this. If they can just get an OT finish in Kings Row, it doesn't have to be pretty. It could be very ugly, very dirty. But if you just finish Kings Row, you get an overtime round, anything's possible. You have a chance to tie up the series.
That is one of the more miserable ways to lose a map.
Oh, just heartbreaking.
That we have seen.
And a lot of young players on this squad. We talked about their potential, how exciting they are. But maybe we won't get to see it today, because honestly, T1, it feels like they're slipping away.
It is tough to come back from that. So we take a look here on the stage. Looks like we are going to end up getting a sub here for T1. So it will be Viper coming in for Zest. We saw him really early in the tournament. I believe
looked good, I think, against Team CC.
Yeah, it was the first game of the tournament. We saw them Viper against CC. So
I mean, honestly, this is a moment where you just need to make a change. You just need to, it's not even about Zest. It's like you need to bring in a player with a fresh mental and just somebody who can change the narrative, change the feeling in the comms, because honestly, this is the type of series that map 3 can just
Have you ever been that
away.
player that comes in after some kind of tragic map loss and like, what are you doing here?
I mean, I think the key is this isn't about some rah-rah speech, right? This is about getting into the game and just being dialed in and really just believing, despite all odds, despite all evidence to the contrary, that you really could claw this back, that you really can win 3 straight against crazy Raccoon.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what any type of rah-rah speech you'd give after that one. You'd be like, hey,
it fall on deaf ears.
You'd be like, at least I wasn't there. at least it wasn't me.
So how you guys feeling?
So what's up, guys? Where does T1 take us here? So they end up picking Kings Row for that last map. Let's see, Runasapi. Okay, so one of the rare instances that we don't see like hybrid and escort off of the board right away. T1 will take us to Runasapi, and we'll see what they decide to ban.
Look, I think you just need to get away from an attack-defend map after what we just saw. I mean, this was CR fighting with vengeance. CR gonna ban the Maga. T1, get rid of the Echo. So you're bringing in Viper, you're saying, all right, let's bring out a Genji game here. Take out the Echo, put our flex supports on Genji, and let's tangle. Let's see what Viper has to say about this series. Can he be the hero in such a dire moment of need for T1?
The Maga ban is like we literally don't care. We'll just burn the ban here.
Honestly,
like the Mercy ban.
Maga
Maybe you could see Maga
sort of viable
here
on this map.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be played.
I still can't believe that just happened.
Oh my God, that's devastating. There's like a pit in my stomach, because I know my experience. Man, you don't have to make a mistake like that for you to be reliving a moment from a match for the next 6 weeks every time you go to sleep. And I promise you, for T1, it's gonna be a long road to recovery. Maybe this can be thought of as a moment in the future as like it's the hero's journey. It's the trials and tribulations that great players must go through. And we know this T1 squad has that potential. Dare I say it, Matt? The talent is there.
I mean, you can't bring that one out. I mean, that is a reserved one for about former Owl days, where the Vancouver Titans played 900 games and we had to say it's something nice. Viper, though, take a look at the tournament stats. from him. Very small sample sizes. Like,
He played,
you know,
what, the one game against Team CC? I think.
yeah, out of the games that we've casted of T1, and I think we've seen a few. It was just that one game against Team CC, at least for us, that we have seen Viper. So good in that one. We'll see how it fares off in this potentially final game for T1.
Certainly looks like that. Crazy Raccoon. Seen this story before, right? You knock them down to the lower bracket. Whew. Pray for the teams that match up against Crazy Raccoon in the lower bracket. They're fighting. There's real life, real vigor in this Crazy Raccoon team. They know they're down, but not out. They plan to be that one team surviving out of the lower bracket today. I promise you that.
Yeah, as CR is not, look, they're going to be a tough out. I mean, we may end up with like a CR Falcons game where only one of those teams makes it on to tomorrow.
I CR Falcons elimination game, and it's not the grand final.
Falcons has looked a little shaky.
I mean,
You know?
all right, I gotta say,
Weibo.
Katsuya got that win over CR.
Yeah.
But they had to cling. I mean, that was blood, sweat, and tears. That was everything. If you take a look at our bracket.
Weibo, a little bit on a heater here.
I mean, that's not a free win for Falcons. Weibo Gaming, we've been talking them down. You know, it's been such a struggle in the Chinese region, and what's the competitiveness of those teams. But Falcons as well they just got beat down.
Yeah.
By Twisted Mind. Like, that is going to sting. Those are players that, how often have they ever lost in a 3-0? I mean, really, it doesn't happen to a team like Falcons, and yet it just did. The EMEA teams are in the upper final.
Man, look at all the signs. I mean, we had some awesome ones for Shu, Chorong. I actually saw Avril down there giving money to the people with the Avril sign. No, I didn't want to call him out, but I saw.
He had his marker out.
Yeah, Avril's been drawing them up and tossing them out.
Snap. Cargo's here?
Yeah,
Guys,
Cargo's
get your
Cargo's
DHL
here.
drops.
Find a Vast. He's dressed like a DHL employee, and he's hanging around with Cargo. So you can find them. They're going out while the DHL drops. This is actually one of the rare instances. I was joking about it. We have not seen much push, like Avril was talking about on the desk, and we have not seen really kind of. But his theory is correct, right? I mean, if you go down that far and push, I mean, it is almost impossible to come
Not
back.
to be too toxic, but is the Avril theory that if you have a massive lead, you're probably going to win?
Avril is right here. And he is, look, Avril is more physically imposing than you.
He's got his dukes up. He's got the dukes up.
And I will tell you, I am not very physically imposing,
I mean,
so I will not be able to get in the way of Avril.
In fairness, I agree. If you have a giant lead, you will probably win.
It's a good point. I mean, dude, you've had some good ones this week where first to two is like, hey, this second map, if you don't win it, you're in a bad spot.
That is, you are in a very bad spot if you lose the second map in the first of two.
I'll tell you what.
that.
No, here's another one. T1, play the objective.
If this one ends in a C9, Matt.
There are C9s, and then there's what we just saw.
Yeah,
there is a difference between what we have seen.
That's a defining one. This will live on in infamy.
Somewhere Youngjin is like, I am not the example anymore.
He's free.
We have a new thing to point to. He's now free, absolved of all C9ing on Dorado directly off the payload. Look, with the way this series has gone and how the last map went, this feels like CR slamming the door on T1, but T1 has had some really strong performances with Proud, Enco, Viper coming in. Maybe there's a little bit of a change here of pace, and we can see them pull something out.
They need a hero here. They need somebody to step up in such a major way. It feels like too much to ask for. Feels like an impossible challenge. But these are professional players. If they want to stand tall, if they want to reach those heights, lift those trophies, this is the type of moment you have to endure. You have to be able to still believe, still find the hope, the confidence in a dire strait. And we come to Runasapi, what could be the final map for T1's tournament life. They push the chips into the center, taking us to push, bringing in Viper, cold off the bench, an unenviable spot to be.
And obviously the Echo ban is really good against Heesang. It also protects Viper to play the Genji. So maybe that is also a little bit of a 2-for-1 there for T1, wanting to up the pace with this Zarya Genji. Will be a speed out the door and then changes here for T1. The Vigilante going over to the Kiri. CR, though, they will continue to play this Wuyang with Kiri backline. Chorong and Shu, just every series it feels like they are just incredible. Still in this one, just putting down a lot of damage, playing perfectly.
T1, they have to be aggressive in this matchup. There's no room for passivity. There's no room for playing slow. Lip, though, has already taken out the legs from under this composition. Now Proud, fighting for his life, desperately trying to get healed up. With Lip off the board, though, one of the key threats for the Crazy Raccoons is down. And Heesang starts to pull the card away, putting the clock to T1. What are you going to do? What is the response going to be? Viper, that's the answer. He takes down Shu, looks for more. And Max seems to be bullied out for now. A good first fight for T1, dare say a critical one.
Absolutely, with the way things have gone, most certainly needed to win the first fight on this map. And it looks like Viper working with Jasmine, being able to get these Zarya bubbles, make a play for the backline of CR. And maybe you feel like the Wuyang Kiri is just too easily diveable by the Genji. You make a change and bring in the Lucio.
Yeah, they want to be able to play this tempo, play that pace. CR loves to bring that heat. Heesang starting to pull some attention into the back line. This creates opportunities elsewhere as Max steps up the jump at Viper. He's out of gas, out of cooldowns, cut down. The sports weren't ready. Now Jasmine isolated, alone. And Crazy Raccoon, 2 kills in the fight. Heesang has pulled so much attention, has done so much work, but it will cost him his life.
And Jake, it doesn't even really feel like it's all Proud.
Oh my.
Takes out 2, but then gets swung on it by Lip. We haven't seen like these crazy eruptions from either side of the hit scan in this battle. It feels like it's been a lot of the support line. And then whether it be Max or Junbin from CR, that has really been the difference.
Viper wants to find an opportunity to get aggressive, to get in. Lip, no slide of the Sojourn. Big reflect in, but the cleanse blocks that dash damage. They're turning to punish. Max finds one. Viper dances away for now, but Jasmine under fire. Has to get the rush pop from Vigilante, but it's so defensive. They're completely on the back foot, and they're just trying to retreat. They're just trying to stay alive with this Zarya energy. That'll be the consolation prize, but it's not much to write home about as Crazy Raccoon take the lead.
Well, that's the thing there, right? So Viper goes in. He kind of gets knocked off course, and then Shu is able to TP over to Chorong on the opposite side, and then they just bully out Jasmine, force that next bubble, and just run him down.
Heesang is down. It's a crucial kill. You no longer have to worry about that backline threat, can start to put this advantage forward. But Max in the corner, this shield, beautiful. Viper on his back, trying to clear out this Ramatra. Very well executed, but he's hiding, he's slowing this one down. Stifling things, and Heesang way back soon. The OC comes from Proud, needs connections, needs kills. Rush and Annihilation, though, will back him off the corner, and he just has no chances to fight into this. Blade and grab, ult's available. Lip pops first, see what he can get done. Swings wide on the flank with the help of the Lucio. Blade is pulled from Viper, he has to stop the bleeding now. Finds Shu, but he can't find Lip. Now, Crazy Raccoon, the beat is on. They're in the grab, though, and the damage is good enough. Skewed finds 2 with the help of Jasmine. Finally, T1 getting true purchase on this map. A dominant fight win, and still the map on the edge of a knife here, Matt. Incredibly close in the objective status.
Well, they end up saving the beat there for the grab, but everybody is so low for Crazy Raccoon before the grab comes on through, and you are just not able, even with that overhealth, to save anybody as T1 gonna get stopped here before taking the lead here as CR wants to fight.
They go aggro, but they get absolutely slapped down. T1 were ready for that one. Great read from Vigilante. The cleanse keeps everybody alive. Still down 1, Crazy Raccoon, they're not playing like it. Staying aggressive, somehow they win the tank trade, killing Jasmine. Max, though, incredibly low for that. Plus one goes incredibly wide. Desperate a little bit from Heesang. Max tries to get one last kill, but can't get the Genji. And the lead retaken by T1, refusing to back down, refusing to go down without a fight.
Yeah, and they may get checkpoint off of this. It does not look like CR going to be able to step up and fight. So the pulse bomb is gone there. Rush advantage with the Zarya and the Genji. We may see T1 take a big lead.
Viper is low, trying to hold aggressively on this angle. They've captured the push spot. Here comes the rush, unmatched from Vigilante. Max holding on, blocking as long as he can, but as Form expires, he could find himself in trouble. The rush damage is massive. He tries to get around the corner. We'll be able to do that for now, but Proud can pile on the pressure with this OC.
So you push them back just a little bit.
They're playing it slow. They want to play this defense.
Well,
I mean, they have the
beat.
advantage. Oh, but Proud swinging wide. Looks to get on top of the back line. Rail is good on the lip. Is the follow-up shot there? Glenn blocks it for now. The next shot goes wide, but Viper gets the job done. Beat over the top from Stu. Proud takes down another. And T1, finally, something in this series. Finally, a place to stake their claim. Runasapi with their backs against the wall. And the advantage grows decisive. CR need to strike back soon. This map could come out of reach very quickly.
I mean, now you have Blade here to work with. Chorong does not have that beat just yet. You also may be able to build up grab here.
Moved away. Beautiful by Chorong. Viper.
They don't want to play into the rush. They're going to back up here out of the rush.
Yeah, played for rush. It's a positive trade, but T1, the old bank is drained. Crazy Raccoon looking for the clap back. Pulse bomb is good. Takes out Jasmine. The OC as well. Just overwhelms. Viper desperate. Has to jump into the soldier looking for the trade, but they cannot find it.
They will clean up Skewed and Vigilante towards the end there, but the damage is done. T1 takes a pretty large lead, right? CR now has to bounce back. You do have the sound barrier for the grab that will end up coming on through. Can you just get better value out of it? They just held on to it for a little bit too long the last time.
The neutral game's so important right now. It's going to be hard for CR to force this aggressively. T1 going to play it very passive. They're letting Max take all the space. They could live to regret that one. A cap for free would be brutal right now. And T1 on the back foot heavily. Jasmine steps up, but ooh, that card, you cannot give this cap for free. Jasmine doing what he can, trying to stay alive. But the annihilation is enough. The grab comes in, but the beat stabilizes things. And CR grabbed the cap. Not to mention crucial kills on top of it. Jasmine goes down.
Yeah, but the grab wasn't good, Jake. The grab goes past like half of the team. You know, Chorong doesn't even get caught in it, able to end up using the beat, saves the players inside of it, and able to speed max on in with that annihilation. So just a poor use of the grab there by T1.
Jasmine got the instant spawn though, off of that cap. He's right back into this. Now they rush onto the cart, starting to pull this cart away. Crazy Raccoon can't fight into it. They have to give up the cart position. He's saying, taking his signature spot around the back line of T1, but they're ready for him. And now CR, you've got to come back to this cart. The lead is against you, the clock's running down, and you're coming right into the arms of Proud with the overclock. They take the jump pad. It's a dangerous game. He's gonna get shot. There it is, lip down. Looking for more, still has that rail charge. CR cannot afford to give up any more progress. And Proud, he demands it. He looks to seize it away. He's saying pulse bomb, it's good! Proud is down on the slide. The beat comes in, T1, desperate, looking for kills. Shoot with the rush though. Tries to stabilize, tries to turn things around. And maybe he's done enough. Skewed, beautiful movement to stay alive for now. As Vigilante drops low, so does Jasmine. And they crumble. T1 thought they could finally break the CR hold. CR gonna get that one last chance to retake the lead. 2 minutes on the clock.
They do get Crazy Raccoon to end up using the Kitsune rush there, which is huge. You are gonna be able to kind of build up towards this beat. You're gonna have this overclock from Lip. If Lip can find Viper, I mean, that is a huge opening there. Viper, that is the kill he'll be looking for.
Viper has such a small window with this Dragon Blade. It's gonna be the first ultimate available. But Chorong just 15% away from the beat. No time to work with Viper. Called upon in your team's moment of need, subbing in for this map. Can you be the hero? Can you force a continuance in this series? OC up, Viper is low. Liv looking for connections, he's saying. Already takes down this Genji, but Proud. Keeping this in contention, keeping it winnable. Liv though, he's seizing this map, he's seizing the series. He's sending T1 home. And Crazy Raccoon destroying T1. Their hopes, dreams mean nothing. The veterans take the win. And that's a huge advantage. Retaking the lead at this moment in the map with 1 minute left on the clock. It turns the game on its head. T1 struggling.
It's now going to force T1 to use some of these key ultimates just to get out of the spawn. If you're Crazy Raccoon, you play up. You want to force this fight in this type of area of the map, not give up the space and allow them to hold on to some ults.
Max has annihilation, he's in the back line. Proud finds one, but the trade is good. Here comes the Kitsune rush. T1, they need more ultimates. They need to stay alive deeper into this. But Crazy Raccoon burning the clock and looking for counter kills at the same time. Jasmine, can he win this without the grab? It would be crucial to any chance of a T1 comeback now. Maybe they've done enough with Max falling. The rest of T1 staying out through the pulse from Heath. He won't back down. And CR, fearless despite the player disadvantage.
Not bad for T1 though. They're obviously down, but they hold on to some of these key ultimates, so they still have a chance here to make this run back.
So many fights back-to-back in overtime.
They gotta be
T1,
perfect, though.
You cannot get off the objective. Everything at stake right now. And Viper has the blade. Deflect keeps him alive for now. Lip swinging wide. Beat forced. Out of skew, just trying to stay alive through this rush. Instant kill on the Lip. Okay, Viper. He's still in this game. The move away. Hold on. Jorung dances back. Somehow alive still. Holding on to the cover. Viper again.
2 for Viper. You still hold on to the grab. Players from CR are falling. So the bot will go deeper back into Crazy Raccoon territory. We cross the midpoint of the map. No close spawns here for CR. You have a grab to work with. No sound barrier on the other side. This is very doable here for T1. You're also going to have a rush, a huge ultimate advantage here.
The OT spawns. They've given Crazy Raccoon only 1-5.
No way.
Takes down one. Proud desperate now with the OC. It's going to be a long wait for Vigilante. Can T1 hold out with just 4 players? A soldier kill right now would change the game. He's saying no, he's right in Proud space. He needs a heal. It's not coming. Crazy Raccoon still has the grab into the backline. Jasmine finds one, but he dies for it. Lip still alive. That OC so close on the cards. And CR so low, but they're all living. T1 running out of gas. And CR have done it. Sending T1 home. Finishing this up when they retook the lead. It all fell apart.
And Lip able to find Vigilante before you end up getting that Kitsune rush, which would have been huge there at the end. Just the health bars of T1 not able to be kept up there. I mean, T1, tremendous effort after their blunder there, the end of map number 2. They battle back on Runasapi. They make it interesting, but not enough in the end. CR, they live on to fight another day.
I tell you what, Matt, when you lose the lead that deep into a push map, it is incredibly hard to turn it around in the final fights. You just have such a strategic advantage from Crazy Raccoon and T1. They just couldn't hold on to that advantage. I gotta say, Viper, though, what a hero. To come in a game like that
quite well
and put up a huge performance as he did, incredibly impressive as an individual. As we take a look at some of the stats from this final map.
Yeah, I mean, Proud showed up there on the final map. Same with Jasmine, as Jasmine has been pumping out the damage all series long. For me, it's really the support line. You know, it's Shu and Chorong are just incredible. I mean,
really, they are.
They are just, you know, the best support line in the world, in my opinion. I mean, they play like it all the time. Yeah. I mean, that is a 6 series from them.
Yeah, I mean, and to be honest, they were getting pummeled on Runasapi. They were taking blows left and right. But CR, they're this team that is so durable in these difficult situations. In the lower bracket with the backs against the wall, it feels like they go to that next level. And I just don't think T1 was ready to step up, ready to challenge the incredible veterancy that is just, I mean, pretty much the entire roster of Crazy Raccoon. And to speak to one of those veterans, one of the greatest of all time in our sport and Overwatch esports, we've got Danny down on the stage with Lip.
Thank you so much, Jake. It's Danny Lim here, joined by Lip from Crazy Raccoon after coming out from a great win against T1. I mean, Lip, I feel like, you know, preparing for this match would have been a lot more difficult because this is your second match. So I want to hear from you. How did your team prepare for your match against T1? 자, 오늘 승리 축하드리면서 아무래도 첫 번째 경기 패배 때문에 좀 많이 시간이 없었을 거라고 생각을 합니다. 립섬스, 이번에 T1과의 경기 좀 어떻게 준비를 하셨나요?
솔직히 이제 T1은 아시아 코리아 지역에서 많이 했던 팀이라서 딱히 별 준비는 안 하고 이제 저희는 또 당연히 뭐 틈하나 이제 알카다시아 쪽 생각하면서 경기했던 것 같습니다.
This wasn't the first time we were playing against T1. We've faced them a lot in Korea as well. So there's nothing really specific. All I had in my mind was to get revenge on Alcatia, and that's what we focused on. Talking about Alcatia, since the subject came out, if you guys do go up against Alcatia one more time, are you confident that you could beat them that time around? 방금 알카시아 말이 조금 나와서 다시 살짝만 여쭤보고 싶은데 다시 한 번 더 그 경기를 치른다면 이길 자신이 있으신가요?
실제로 앞 2경기까지는 저희가 많이 유리했었고 그 이후에는 저희 페이스를 못 찾아서 진 건데 다시 하면 이길 수 있을 것 같아요.
Yeah. Lip says that he definitely feels like he could beat Cassia one more if they face off against them one more time. Just because they had the lead in the first 2 maps, and then it all sort of fell apart after that. So given one more chance, Lip is confident that they could beat Cassia. One final question: this isn't the day's not over for Crazy Raccoons. You guys will be facing off against either Team Falcons or Weibo Gaming. Who do you think is going to be your opponent next? 자, 아직 하루가 끝나지 않았습니다. 오늘 굉장히 기네요, 라쿤한테는. 다음 경기 어떻게 보면은 이제 팔콘과 또 웨이보 거기에 승자와 붙게 되실 텐데 어떤 팀과 경기를 하실 것 같으신가요?
솔직히 지금 상황으로 보면 반반 확률이라고 봐서 누가 올라와도 안 이상한 경기인 것 같아요.
I can't really say it because honestly I feel like it's going to be a 50-50 on who's going to win, so I can't really predict that matchup. All right, that is it for the interview. Thank you so much. Zoe, back to you.